Are you thinking about an opportunity in your life and you're like, oh, don't know if I should go for it or should I not? Well, today I want to share my view on this. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, before we dive in, I want to mention that if you want to connect with me further or follow more of my content, then you can connect with me on social media with my links in the show notes below. I had a massive like aha moment with my coach the other day. And do you know what? It came from taking the opportunity to work with this coach. It came from the opportunity of joining some men's groups. I've also realized I've become a sales manager, like leading a team and being recognized by some high profile people and working with some great individuals who have achieved a lot by taking an opportunity which I could have said no to because I was nervous about the money at the time. And I'm not just going to go on about things being about money today. I'm just talking about opportunities in general. I've realized that some opportunities that I could have said yes or no to have really changed the course of my life. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today. And I realized how much my heart has been screaming out to write more. And I've not been writing as much. And I absolutely love writing. Obviously, I love podcasting as well, and I continue to do that. Writing is truly in my heart. And I've written 7 books that not everyone knows about me. I didn't publish them much. Well, I did, promote them much. I published them, of course, self-published on Amazon. And they're a mixture of genres over the years from 2016. Yet, I just started thinking more from the head, and I've just been like, right, okay, logically do this and this. And I've done well in my career and my sales and my business and also in my personal life, right? Just logically planning stuff and being organized, which is great. I realized I haven't followed my heart as much. And the other day, me and my coach came to an aha, and I was crying after the session, not during it, after it, because I realized how much I hadn't connected to something really close in my heart. And I'm going to do another episode on my talking about the heart very soon. And yeah, I just realized that sometimes when we don't do anything, or I've not done anything, it can change the projection of your life. And maybe there's something that you're holding yourself back from, and therefore it's impacting you mentally as well. So I really want to talk you through maybe my thought process on opportunities today, because you can only decide what's right for you. Because maybe there's an opportunity and you're humming and hawing about it. I would ask you though, if things aren't working for you at the moment and an opportunity comes, really, do you want to keep the same or do you want to change it? And again, it's about feeling into things, right? So let's dive into how I would think about, or I go about deciding if I want an opportunity. The first one is I ask myself, what is my outcome? And does this opportunity align with it? Okay, because be honest, there's some quite good marketing out there, and people they've always got their best interests at heart. They don't always have your best interests at heart, right? So think about an outcome, right? If your outcome is to become a best-selling author, which I'd love to do, that someone's trying to offer you an opportunity to join in MLM, or multi-level marketing sort of business or something like that. Is that opportunity in line with you? Now, if you're looking for more money from whatever source and you feel this could be good, that might be an opportunity to take depending how it feels and going on to the next step. But the first one is, what is your outcome? Always ask yourself, what is your outcome, right? You might have an opportunity to this is a very silly example. You might have an opportunity to go to multiple all-you-can-eat. This is silly, but hopefully you can take it back to actually your real-life practical examples. Someone invites you to go to multiple all-you-can-eat buffets and eat as much as you can. That's an opportunity, but your outcome is to lose weight, right, and get into the best shape of your life. Is that opportunity aligned to your outcome? Hopefully you said no right then, right? Again, it's your own answers. Think about what are your outcomes? If you don't know your outcomes in life, and if you want me to break it down for how I do it, I think about what's my outcome physically, how do I want to feel, what do I want in my body, what my energy, mentally / emotionally, how do I want to feel? spiritually, like my growth and contribution. What do I want? Relationships, and I actually split that into friends and family and romantic relationships. And then the last part is my finances slash business. I sort of incorporate into one. What is my outcome in that, right? Now, and that can also link back to spiritually for me, because it's obviously a legacy. Usually you want to drive from making it, sometimes you want to drive from making money, but not always, right? So what is your outcome, and does the opportunity align? And the second one, right? Think with your heart and use logic, right? Don't logic. Your mind is very good at like making roadmaps. It's also very good at like worrying and looking at every threat, but it can be very good at planning stuff out and logically making plans. Brilliant. Like, thank it for doing that. Don't let it lead though. As the saying goes, the mind is a great servant, but a lousy master, right? I'll say that again. The mind, I can't remember who said it, and it's not me, so don't say this, right? I've forgotten who said the quote, but the mind is a great servant, yet a lousy master. And I found for me, in many times in my life, and many people I've spoken to, that the mind becomes a master. The heart is the best master. The heart knows. The heart, your body and your heart will know what something feels like. So if an opportunity feels right and your heart's like, yes, not your mind, your heart is like, yes. Be like, yes, but also use a bit of logic. And what do I mean by that? It's like, why don't you just use the heart completely? Well, this is what I would say, right? Say you, I can think of a real life for this, right? Say you've got an opportunity to, you want to start a business and it's your dream. Your heart's like, this is my dream. Fantastic. Okay. And you've not got a lot of money saved away, and you've not got much experience in business, and you've got this like stable, safe job, right? And again, people are going to have different opinions on this. So I'm just going to use this because I've got a friend who's a very successful coach, but she did this intelligently. I also know someone didn't do this very well. But her heart's like screaming out, for example, like, I want to do this, right? So then what she does is uses her mind to plan like her savings, how she's going to go out about and do this as a start without overanalyzing it. She's leading with her heart for this opportunity to leave her job and map out like how she's going to do it. But you could be fully using your heart and be like, I want to leave this job, I'm going to go. And like, actually, then you go and then you run out of money, then you're in big trouble, right? You've got to use, I personally think there's not, using both, using the heart to lead, but bringing logic into it. So like, heart, I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to make a plan for how I'm going to make the money and how I'm going to have a save amount of savings, for example. Okay. Or like you really like someone, right? The heart, go and tell them. Brilliant, fantastic. But a little bit of logic, you're not probably going to go in the street. You could do if you want to and be like, I love you. Or you're not going to scream, I love you to someone on the first date, are you? You may be on the first date with someone and be like, I really like this person. I really like to see them again, right? Fantastic. Right, I might be on a date with a girl and I'd be like, right, I really like her, I want to see her again. But I'm probably not going to go like, I'm already thinking about marrying you. Right, okay, because that's just no logic in it, right? Instead, what you might do is say, oh, I really enjoyed myself. Like, this is a really great evening. And then you make plans, don't be too hesitant, right? So, and then you make plans again to see them, right? That would be using the heart in an opportunity and leading with it, leading with the heart and bringing in a little bit of logic. So when we're talking about opportunities coming to us, use the heart, but use a little bit of logic with it as well. And the third one, if you want something to happen, and whether it's financially a little bit of a stretch, I work in sales, so I kind of see this all the time, and I help people work through it where I can. Unfortunately, some people are very caught in the mind and fear, and it takes them away from the heart, which is gutting to see. Like, allow a little bit of creativity, and I've seen people make it work, right? So this often is around financial. If it's an opportunity, financial creativity, it's like, all right, okay, well, how much money am I spending there? Or what, people spend money on houses, but not on their personal growth, right? So it's like, how can you become creative like you are for buying a house, right? For example, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a house, right? But I'm just saying people can become very creative without even realizing, like people get mortgages, all these kind of things, deals to get a house. Yet I don't see people do that for their own personal growth as much. I do see some people do it, and they usually excel in their life because they've got all these skills, these skills, right? So how can you get more creative to make opportunities happen? If you keep asking your mind a question, it can only come up with the answer. It may even come up with, well, I'm not sure, I'm going to ask another person, which is an answer, right? Or read a book or a resource, right? So keep asking the question that how can I be creative, right? Okay, now I've got a final point for you as well. I just want to mention again that if you want to connect with me further, you can find me on social media, linked in the show notes below. The final thing I would invite you to do is read some inspirational stories from people, or watch some YouTube, listen to some podcasts of some people who've come from like some challenging backgrounds to changing their life to somewhere where they're really content and fulfilled and loving their life, right? Because you can take a lot of example from them, from like how they've taken advantage of opportunities, what they've done to get resourceful. People like Tony Robbins, like Oprah Winfrey. These are some great examples. And I'll say this to people, like the people I see the most successful are not those with the most resources, are those with the most resourcefulness. There's a difference. Resources can mean like having, money or things or people around you. Resourcefulness means you don't necessarily have that. You may or may not, yet you're able to get very creative. So look at people like Tony Robbins, like who was 17 years old, wanted to go to a Jim Rohn seminar, which is $12,000, which would be the equivalent of $60,000 now. And he's a 17-year-old kid, went to bank after bank after bank after bank after bank until eventually he got a loan. Right, and everyone said no to him. How resourceful is that? And he had no money at all. He was broke in his car, right? And he had no address, right? So look at stories like that for how you can get creative on opportunities, whatever it might be. Right, so that's what I really wanted to share with you. And I'm going to be honest, I've been guilty of having loads of resources and just blowing it up, right? Not blowing it up, but just kind of getting into a down point and all those kind of things, right? And not really living up to my potential. And I've also been in a situation where I was up against things, didn't know a lot, I didn't have the skill set, and I turned it around, whether that was in a job, a career, a new sales environment, right? So look at examples of other people out there that you can take inspiration from. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. And remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.